Can we really trust the Bible? Let's find out. Have you ever heard someone say that the Bible is unreliable because of contradictions? The inconsistencies in genealogies, altered accounts, and numerical differences make people question the Bible's reliability. But are these contradictions really a problem? Nope. Differences in detail don't mean the Bible isn't trustworthy. Today, let's look at some reasons for these contradictions. Many view the Bible as a single book, but it's actually a library of different genres and styles written by various authors over centuries. So obviously, poetic books like Song of Songs or the Psalms weren't meant to be interpreted in the same way as historical books like Kings or Chronicles. For example, in Exodus, the account of crossing the Red Sea is detailed and explains exactly how Moses parted the sea for the Israelites to escape. Meanwhile, Hebrews simply states, by faith the people crossed the Red Sea. The point was to highlight the Israelites' faith in God, not to give a detailed breakdown of their escape from Egypt. So depending on the genre and purpose of the text, sometimes details can either be slightly altered or removed entirely. Now that we've seen how literary genres affect interpretation, let's consider the significance of the spiritual message versus factual details. Ancient historians focused on broader themes rather than precise biographical details. Biblical authors, on the other hand, aim to convey spiritual truths. Take for example the biography of any modern historical figure and you'll most likely find a detailed account of their early childhood, appearance, relationships and other major life events. Compare this with the biblical patriarch Abraham. While we do have some information regarding his age, family and major life events, his whole story is finished in just a few chapters. It doesn't say anything about how he looked or his childhood because the point was to show Abraham's relationship with God. Similarly, Genesis 1 and 2 both describe creation but from different perspectives. Genesis 1 outlines a clear day-by-day sequence of creation over 7 days meant to give us a big picture view of the grand cosmic order of creation. But Genesis 2 zooms in and focuses on humanity's special role with more detail about Adam, Eve and their relationship with God in the garden. Instead of contradicting each other, these two chapters actually work together and just provide different angles on the same story. Or look at Jesus' genealogy. Matthew traces Jesus' royal lineage through David to show his right to Israel's throne, while Luke focuses more on Jesus' human ancestry. These differences aren't errors. They are meant to reveal different aspects about Jesus' identity. So sometimes biblical accounts differ not because they are telling different stories, but to highlight different aspects of the same story. The focus was on the spiritual and not literal. But what about accounts that are talking about the literal details? Some discrepancies may arise from copying errors. For example, 1 Kings 7 and 2 Chronicles 4 have slightly different measurements for Solomon's temple. But this doesn't disprove either account. Similarly, Matthew 27 says Judas hanged himself, while Acts 1 describes his body bursting open. Both descriptions could be true. Judas may have hanged himself and his body later fell and ruptured, explaining both details. Instead of being contradictory, they actually offer a fuller picture when seen together. So these kinds of minor variations don't take away from the Bible's credibility or from the deeper spiritual meaning the biblical authors wanted to convey. So, are there contradictions in the Bible? On the surface, it seems like yes. But do they make it unreliable? Absolutely not. Differences in genre, intention, or copying errors explain these inconsistencies. Despite minor variations, the Bible's overall unity and the central message of God's plan for salvation through Jesus Christ remain intact. So, what do you think about this? Do minor contradictions discredit the Bible? Are there other religious texts you consider more reliable? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, let us know by liking and subscribing to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Until next time.